Shift your energy fast. EFT tapping explained. Hi, welcome to our Ed Talks, little snippets of education to help you heal and feel empowered. I'm Justine Calderwood, pelvic floor physical therapist and certified birth healing practitioner. Today, I want to explain something called EFT tapping or emotional freedom technique. It's a technique that I learned years ago from my psychologist, and it has helped me personally, as well as helped a lot of my patients to shift their energy, to help improve mood, and also to kind of shift through some of those big emotions or thoughts that seem to hijack our brain. This can also help with chronic physical pain as well. So I'm going to give you this tool so that you can use it at home as well. So to use EFT tapping, what we're going to do is we'll use certain spots of around the head and the hand, and I'm going to go over this step by step with you, but I want to give you a little information first on why we might use this and how exactly. So again, going back to what I said earlier, this can be used for those times where you just feel like your thoughts are just going over and over. Maybe you can't sleep at night. Maybe you're just feeling really overwhelmed or anxious and you can't shake the mood. And this can be a really good and easy tool for you to use at home. So how we want to use this is first we want to identify what is it that you're feeling or that you're stuck on. So we want to just slow down. I tell people that I teach about this to just kind of close your eyes and identify 1 to 3 emotions or thoughts that have you kind of flustered or feeling overwhelmed. So if you close your eyes and you just kind of check in and see, what exactly am I feeling? If I could identify it in words, are you feeling anxious? Or maybe you're feeling that you're not safe, or that you feel like things are out of control or something like that. You want to identify 1 to 3 things. And then once you identify those in words, you can then decide where in your body are you feeling this. So the next step is just identifying where in your body are you holding on to that emotion or thought. So then again, I'd close my eyes and say, okay, maybe I'm feeling anxious. I've identified I feel anxious and I feel overwhelmed. So I would close my eyes and go, okay, where am I feeling that in my body? Maybe I feel it in my head or my chest or down into the pit of my stomach. So identify that. And then the next part of that is to identify how strong is it? So on a scale of 0 to 10, how strong is that feeling of anxiousness or overwhelm? So that'll give you a starting point or baseline information so that after you do the EFT tapping, you can come back to this and decide if anything changed, just checking back in with your body. Okay, so let's get started and I'll show you exactly how to do this at home. We're going to go over exactly how to do EFT tapping. What you're going to do is you're going to be tapping with just a couple fingers all on the left side of your body using your right hand. Okay. So what you're going to do, again, identifying what you are feeling. So I'm going to use the words anxious and overwhelmed. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is give you the phrase, and you're going to do this 2 rounds. So the phrase is, even though I feel whatever it is, I deeply and completely accept myself. So you're going to go through saying that. Now at home, you can say this mentally. You don't have to say it out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud so that you can kind of go along with me. So I'm going to come over to the side of my hand here on my left side, tapping with my right. And I'm going to say to myself, even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Come to the top of your head. Even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Come over to the top of your eye. Even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Come to the side of your eye. Even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Underneath the eye, even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Above your top lip, even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. At your chin, even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. You're going to come to your collarbone, just underneath your collarbone on the left. Even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then the last point is underneath your armpit at your rib cage. Even though I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. So that's the first round. You're going to go through another round and you're going to say, even though I still feel blank, so I'll say, even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. So you just come back, side of your hand here, and you're going to say that same phrase, top of the head. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Top of the eye. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Side of the eye. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Underneath the eye. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Come to the top of the lip. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. At your chin. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Collarbone. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then at your rib cage. Even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. One tip, you can go through this quicker. You can, tap several areas as you get through the phrase. So I could easily say, even though I still feel anxious and overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. So see how I went through like 4 of the points. So you can do it quicker. That's okay. After you get through those 2 rounds, then what you want to do is do a recheck. So then you could close your eyes and again, just feel back into your body and where are you feeling that anxious and overwhelmed feeling or whatever your feelings were. And then where are you feeling it, but also how strong is it now? And just see if there's been any kind of change. For some people, it can be an immediate change. For other people, it might take just a little bit of time, but give it a try at home. See if it helps you and see if it can be a good tool for you to be able to shift your energy fast or those overwhelming thoughts or emotions. If you have any questions, just reach out to us here at the Healing Spot and we'd be happy to support you. Okay, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next Ed Talk.